The following program may contain excessive, derogatory, creative mentions of sex, sexuality, perhaps on occasion have fracking coarse language, and cause adverse effects of laughter along with making you think. We may lie to tell the truth, to tell the truth, to tell a lie, for the lie to be exposed, and the truth to finally be told. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to DDP Radio for those days you feel like a nut and for those days you don't. I'm broadcasting live from the Parkdale Studios here in Toronto, Ontario, from DDP Studios Incorporated. We make thinking fun.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and of course you see my co-host here tonight. Now we do have a special guest, but he's just running a little late into the studio. So, anyways,
he's running from the press, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. He's running
They've
from the press.
They've got him mobbed, and hopefully he doesn't turn out like Lady Diana.
And all those girls too, because he is celebrityjosh.com.
Celebrity Josh?
Yeah, celebrityjosh.com. Wow. Yes.
So if he's elected, he'll be MP Celebrity Josh.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh. That does have kind of a ring to it.
Yeah.
He's running for the Green Party, right?
He's running for the Green Party.
Is that the marijuana party?
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks, eh?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought too.
It's a green, hey, Chican, brother.
He's like, but we're actually the first advocates of the Cannabis Act. But of course, tonight's topic was going to be let's talk politics. Let's talk Canadian
politics.
Because everybody else is.
Yeah, it's the biggest topic in the world right now.
Right now, no kidding, eh?
Have you been following?
Yeah. I have been following. Actually, I have been following all the stupid remarks that everybody's doing.
Oh, yeah. We did a show just last week about it, didn't we? On the black face or the brown face.
Oh, yeah, we did Trudeau's black
face. The mocha face scandal.
Dude, we had a lot of views for that. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, hopefully they tuned in again.
Yeah, that was like everybody tuned in for that one because everybody was, what the fuck?
Well, the insight, I'm sure that it was forwarded many times, and the insight, yes. Just the insights that we provided, the light that we gave to the situation, I thought really helped.
No kidding. On that note, we do have, of course, our regular UFO video on trial at the half-hour mark, and we do have some new music for today. So when Josh arrives, what we'll do, we'll just throw to some music and then have some fun. But in the meantime, speaking of Canadian politics, have you been following any of the candidates at all? Because for me, Jagmeet Singh, pissed me off.
Yeah, I just hear it on the radio. I don't really watch it on the TV.
Handsome hair. But
that shot was really great. I don't know. Whenever I hear Jagmeet talk, I just think like this guy should be a teacher, not a politician or something. Like he sounds too nice.
Too nice.
Yeah, too nice.
Too nice.
Yeah.
It becomes so. This is the other thing too is how people speak to Canadians. Have you noticed this?
Like a kindergarten class?
Yeah.
Jeez, I hope not.
I
hope not, but I see what you're saying.
But no, but you see it relevant too in the newspapers as well. And not only newspapers, but also in these interviews that you see sometimes with the, people in the crowd sometimes. Not addressing people with the common sense, perhaps maybe they might know something.
Right.
Rather than, and there seems to be a talking at people rather than talking with us. Like, like I like leaders when they talk with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, with you type of thing. So, hey.
Yeah, because you're in the same boat. You feel like you're in the same boat.
Yeah, you feel you're in the same boat. And
he's the captain of our boat.
That's right.
But at least we're in the same boat.
That's
he's
right.
Not the captain of someone else's boat. That's so good to me.
Yeah, we want somebody who knows how to steer. You know what I'm saying? Like
steer our boat.
Fuck
them.
Yeah, fuck them.
They still,
Yeah. And so it becomes as simple as that when it comes to politics. But why the fuck do we always make the wrong decisions?
You think that we always make the wrong decisions?
Like, I think we've been going from liberal to conservatives and conservatives to liberals.
Well, what else is there? Well, you're supposed to is green.
I know, dude.
But now
boring,
that the pot is legalized, man, what good are they?
We should need that, just like throwing a libertarian in there once in a while, or
is there a libertarian
more
party?
Green candidate.
There should be a libertarian party. You know how you can always tell the candidate for a libertarian party?
Yeah,
he's wearing sandals.
He's
the only one wearing sandals on stage there,
with round specs and a book.
But that's the giveaway. If you're having an all candidates debate, the libertarian's the guy in the sandals.
I have no idea about that fashion statement, but that's just a gay faux pas.
Well, I'd say I don't give a fuck. Yeah. That's what it tells me.
As a gay man, if I ever was caught doing that, it'd be removal of your rainbow towel.
But you're thinking more for cultural reasons. I'm thinking more political reasons.
Just can't wear your white shoes after
because I feel the same way as you. But the thing is, the double that would truly piss me off. If we had impeachment in Canada, this is what I would go for.
Yeah,
But the socks with the sandals.
That's right.
If they show up with the socks and the sandals together, it's like not only are they an anarchist, but they have like just terrible fashion sense about them.
No kidding. Listen. Smart people, like like super smart people that like delve in books 24 hours a day. Yeah, they're sloppy, man.
Is that what you call it?
Or disorganized mess. I like keeping things clean just simply for the sake of sanity. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, I think our candidate is here, Josh Rachlis. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw to a musical interlude.
Oh,
And
I
it
can
is-
tell a story.
Yeah, that's right. This is Said the Whale. Check it out on America.
I'll debate you in the morning as we recycle all our jars. I'll debate you in the afternoon as we drive electric cars. I'll debate you in the evening till my green face turns to blue. But there's no debating, I love you. Come on, everybody! Hey, hey, Elizabeth May. Hey, hey, Elizabeth May. Hey, hey, Elizabeth May. One more time. Hey, hey, Elizabeth May. Hey, Elizabeth, add me to Facebook.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to DDP Radio. For those days you feel like a nut and for those days you don't, we're broadcasting live from Parkdale Studios here in Toronto, Ontario. Of course, DDP Studios Inc. We make thinking fun.
Yes, we do.
And of course, our guest has arrived in this studio. And of course, you've already met our co-host, of course, the Urban Mystic. Of course, Josh is in the studio, the Green Party candidate for Thornhill. How you doing,
Hey,
mate?
Josh.
Am I
you
looking
doing?
at the camera? Is that proper?
No, the
this
camera's
one's
right there.
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are the
there's
peeps
another-
are right there,
That's
my
the
friend.
peeps are there. Yeah.
There we go.
Check it
Hello.
out. There we go. How you doing?
I'm all, well, it's been an awful day.
Awful day.
I believe in being honest, so I
Because of global warming?
Is
yeah.
it? Is it? Was?
that was the best part of it, actually.
Oh.
Nice and warm out. Yeah, no, my life is falling apart lately.
No.
Uh-oh.
There's a
wanna hear about
girl.
it?
Is it about a girl?
No.
No?
Well, actually, I guess it kind of is. I mean, it's more about girls I broke up with like 20, 30 years ago.
Hey, that's okay, man. Political parties, politicians are allowed to be human. This is great. Go
Exactly,
for it. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
go
it's
for it. Tell us
all
your
about,
troubles. Go
just-
for it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I should have gotten married and had kids by now. That's what I'm mostly upset about. So
Oh, really, eh?
I'm very anxious about it. I feel like I could have had grandkids by now.
Would you make that part of the platform? Like, okay, so one of the questions I want to ask you, because I'm not really following the Green Party too much, do they actually have a stance on like what they consider to be like, the ideal Canadian society, as opposed to the sort of mission
Like make babies, like make more babies. What's the Green Party stance on
Well,
making
just
more babies?
traditional values of like family, right? For instance, and stability, and going through what the so-called sacraments, so that people could be happy and bring a healthy next generation, a healthy society.
I don't know. I skimmed the 88-page platform. I didn't see anything about the appropriate number of children.
this platform, yeah. There's nothing.
there it
There's
is.
not. Yeah, there it is. I actually checked out all the platform myself.
Oh, okay, so you can. I started reading it, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
can't get through this.
I've got to admit though. I've got to admit. Okay, I've read her speech now. I know where you got the title from. It says honest, ethical, caring leadership, but the caring just got like. How are you guys dealing with that as a Green Party member? Because caring, it sounds so like I don't know, like hey. And,
Well, it's-
Care Bears a bit, doesn't it? No?
You've got these videos on, so I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah, they're ready to go.
I feel so cozy.
Well, I mean, isn't that they talk about what?
I mean, it's nice and all. I'm just joking.
No, but isn't there some kind of thing with the conservatives? They say we're the caring conservatives or something. Like
yeah, we know
parties
that's all bullshit, though. Like,
It sounds gay with them too.
All right, so I guess maybe we're trying to soften we honest, ethical, caring leadership. I don't know. It sounds nice. Like everybody keeps asking me, what am I looking for in a woman?
Hey,
And I say,
I love the honest and ethical. I'm really into ethics, so I'm really, really interested in that because I saw some of the policies that you guys were doing and the direction you're trying to bring as far as ethics in, within corporate life.
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody
So-
says ethical until they're in power, and then
And honest is good, and leadership is good, but the caring, it should be more scaring.
Scaring?
Scaring.
No,
For
that's the
Halloween?
conservative. That's the conservative way of doing things. You
But
scare
that's how you get
people.
shit done.
I know. That's the
guess.
fascist way.
Look at China.
Look at China. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
well, I
it's
guess
horrible.
I mean you could argue that if you just take away everybody's freedoms and control them.
Dude, I was
you do
talking
whatever
to
you
the candidate for the Communist Party in this riding.
want. Okay.
And I said, well, what about China? Like, I mean, would you want China running our country? And he's like, well, yeah, I mean,
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, then move to China.
Really?
Well, yeah.
You could have a Chinese.
I'm like proud Canadian, dude. I mean, we have our problems, but
Well,
I'm
I mean,
like
I think he was thinking more in terms of the way the country is run. And it's like, do you want our country, our society to be run like they run the shit in China?
oh God, no.
I mean,
No.
that's the thing. It's like I don't understand why anybody's ever like, oh, I wish our country was run like that. Well, then go to that country. You can have a country that's exactly that.
Yeah,
I hear that it's
that's
hard to
right.
get a Chinese citizenship, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You'd think they'd? Well, I don't know. Actually, does any? I mean, maybe nobody's ever asked. Like, why would you?
Touche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although there's that one.
I'd like to visit China, that's for sure. But
Yeah, there's that one white Canadian he's called what is
Oh, the guy that's in prison?
Dashan or something. No, like he's a big comedian there. Like he speaks Chinese and he's like known as the guy.
Oh yeah.
He's the white rhino.
The white rhino.
from Canada.
Yeah, I think people like it. Like especially if there's ever like a white person that speaks Chinese or Japanese, they're like, whoa, they're really impressed. My friend Dennis was this blonde, blue-eyed guy from university. He went to teach English in Korea right after university, and then he moved to Japan, and he just loved it. Because, like, he was something special there. The guy that spoke the language. And
Yeah.
every time he
Got
would
all
come
the
back here
girls.
once a year. Oh, yeah. He'd come back here and he'd go to a bar and be like, I can't do this. I can't talk to you. He would just go up to every Asian person and go, hello, in Japanese or something. Because he feels like here he's got no superpowers. But there, it's kind of like Superman. Like, you come to Earth, you're like, wow. You're the white guy who speaks Japanese. But here you're just another jerk white guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I really didn't formally introduce you because we were running late a little bit with the crisis in your life here.
Yeah.
But I see some of your LinkedIn. Actually, you're a Humber College postgraduate as well, eh? And
Yeah, well, I went to Glendon. I majored in psychology, and then I was
right.
like, what do I do? And my mom told me about, she cut an article from Marketing Magazine about the Humber copywriting program, so I did that for a year afterwards and
awesome.
became a copywriter.
That's right. Now, of course, you seem to be, and you've been running for the Green Party of Canada since 2011.
Yeah, I guess 2011 is probably...
How many elections have you run in?
Was that the love song thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the election that I made the love song for Elizabeth May that went viral. She tweeted back to me, I love you too, and then all the newspapers called, and the CTV News Channel sent a limo, and they interviewed me at their station.
Did you have sex with her?
I did not.
No.
It's funny, at the time...
Hey, man, it's okay, man. It's like,
Did you at least
no, we
fantasize
have no
about it, like,
age
even
discrimination in Canada,
Yeah, they did ask. They said, because I think I'd said to one of the people on the phone, like, oh, my girlfriend said something, so whatever. So then the reporter on air, she was like, you better watch out. I hear you have a girlfriend. And then what I thought she meant was, oh, I guess Elizabeth May is now my girlfriend. And I was like, well, I could do worse.
Nice.
But what she meant was, you have a real life girlfriend. Why are you singing songs to other women? So I didn't quite understand.
She wasn't one of these SJWs, was she?
No, well, I don't even. Did we have SJWs back then in 2011? I guess we did.
So what?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So why the Green Party of Canada, Josh?
Okay.
Why Green Party?
Well,
Canada?
originally I
apart from your love affair with Elizabeth,
yeah, I mean, I did the love song about her.
Especially now that marijuana is legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, now
to
there's
us.
no point. Well, that's not. I mean, it's called Green Party. I don't think it's because the color of marijuana. But yeah, I mean, originally I did the love song for Elizabeth May because I thought she was the purest representation of the environment. I've always cared about the environment.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up litter. I turn off lights everywhere I go. I spent months changing every light bulb in my office, like where the ad agency I work. And then I would carry these handmade flyers around. And every time I saw a car idling, I would hand them one saying, "Look, you're wasting gas." But then, one time a guy got out of his car because there was a BMW. He was having his nap with his window open and idling, and I threw a brochure in there. And then a block away, he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Hey, tree hugger! If you ever touch my car again, I'll kill you." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna get beaten up." So I'm like, and then I saw they were having a contest to make an eco video, and Lori David, who produced An Inconvenient Truth, Larry David's ex-wife, she was going to be one of the judges, and I thought, oh, I should make a video for that, and I could meet her and meet Larry maybe. And then I realized, I could use my powers of comedy to teach people about the environment, and that way I can reach a bigger audience and not get beaten up. And then
comedy.
I might get beaten up because of my comedy.
You got beaten up because you were doing recycling.
Yeah.
You were not allowed or something. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so
anyway, so then I
keep going,
decided to do the love song for Elizabeth May because that'll be a way of getting environment into the thing because there was that Obama girl song when Obama was running, and I thought, I should do something like that. And then so that went viral, and then I guess when the next provincial election rolled around, I was like, how do I step it up? So I think on Facebook I posted you know, how can I run for a party? How does this work? And somebody said, hey, if you want to run for the Green Party, there's an opening in Eglinton Lawrence.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay. And also because I have no political experience, you know, it's harder to become a candidate for like one of the other parties, like the Conservatives or Liberal NDP.
Yeah.
So there's, I guess,
So
contest.
it wasn't like their platform captivated you. It's just like you were looking for you were a rebel without a cause in a way.
Well, no, not exactly. Like I do agree with everything as well. So it kind of represented, hey, I get to help the environment. You know, they need help. They need people to run, and I also agree with pretty much everything. Like I try to think like I agree with different things. I've become more conservative over the last few years as well.
Can I ask you just one fundamental question? Because like I always thought of the Green Party as kind of more fiscally conservative but socially liberal, like a good combination of kind of conservative and liberal values, right? But I haven't followed it, so like, is it still kind of? Would you define the culture of the party that way, or like, how would you define the culture of the party?
Everybody keeps saying that.
Pretty catchy.
Yeah, and it sounds kind of like, oh yeah, we're buttoned down or whatever. And I think what it means now is that they're supposed to be responsible. Like like when Elizabeth released the platform last week, she said everything is costed out. You know, we've had accountants looking, so it's supposed to be not just we're throwing money at things. And also in terms of the environment, like it's, you know, you earn your money back because you're saving money in healthcare if there's less pollution, or you know, you're becoming more efficient, and we're investing in green jobs. So it's kind of, you know, forward thinking. It's about the future. We embrace technology. It's not just sort of this. It's not supposed to be this crazy socialism. But it's interesting. The past few years, I've been following a lot of U.S. politics, and I don't know. I used to be very scared of Trump. Like I remember when Trump was elected, I was sitting in a pub in the annex. Oh, I've got indigestion. We're all screwed. And then the more I looked at his actual policies, like I don't really disagree with a lot of this. And then the more I look at the Democrats, I'm like, gosh, a lot of this stuff is pretty crazy.
I know. It's like I go to openparliament.ca, and because I check a lot of what all the MPs or the MPPs were actually voting on. Like I don't care about your flowery speech sometimes as a politician. I care about, but I love the Green Party's position. I've met Elizabeth May in the past, and I've interviewed her as well in the past for DDP. And I even took a picture with her as Jesus, and Jesus meets the gay man.
Yeah?
We were in the Pride Parade,
Oh, actually, I think I saw that picture.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, I've always been a big fan of her because I felt that.
Fridge magnet.
That's right. There we go. Have
That's
one.
a good one.
Have one for sure.
Thanks.
Which is on Amazon Prime now. Actually, I'm really proud of that. Okay, so I love some of her platforms, especially on like right now the pipeline thing is like she got arrested for protesting the pipeline. I thought, man, the woman's got balls. That's awesome. I like, because I'm like, for me, that pipeline is just ridiculous. You're going through native land. You're not even asking. You're doing all this $4.5 billion was spent out of taxpayers' money from the Liberal government for sludge.
For sludge, we mean.
I don't think it's just sludge.
Well,
Actually,
not just sludge, but But I mean, but they're saying it's to create jobs and so forth. But I mean, like, what
But
about
they
creating?
they built the pipeline, right?
Yeah, but with $4.5 billion, you can create so many sustainable jobs on other renewable energies that would work. You know, what's the state?
I guess the problem is, and I'm not sure on this. Like, I mean,
I think nuclear.
understand-
Nuclear is the answer. Nuclear is the answer.
that's
Or
fine.
thorium reactors, molten reactors.
Yeah,
The
The
thorium,
new-
isn't that the stuff that always like is going to be this magic power?
new-
that's
this-
never-
Actually, it is actually quite. Yeah, it's quite actually.
Number 4 is, I
I talked to a
believe,
couple of scientist friends, and one of them passed away recently. Unfortunately, God bless his soul. And yeah, thorium is actually that reactor did work, and it was a walkaway reactor. The technology was better, but it just that you couldn't use thorium for making bombs, or atom bombs. And that was the only reason that they went through with plutonium and uranium. And they used an older technology simply because it had a byproduct. That you could
things have
use.
moved on in the last 30 years. You know?
So today, the technology's there. So there's a whole bunch of physicists down in the States now, and even some here in Canada, and they call him Dr. Thorium, the leader of it.
Dr. Thor,
and he's
for
right.
sure.
It's a sustainable, renewable energy that could just.
It's the only solution to the
So what-
energy.
I mean, it would
What's
be
the
one
idea,
source.
that it's being suppressed by the oil companies. Is that why?
no,
yeah.
there's a
Adopting it?
culture.
No,
that's
it's been.
nuclear.
It was just at the time. Like, think about it. At the time, it was. At the time, the market was looking. They were also looking for uranium and plutonium as a side product to create atom bombs. Like, we've got so many nuclear bombs out there, And nuclear energy was also a derivative of that, so they just used the technology. It's like Beta versus like VHS. Like it was like VHS made a better marketing plan, and they won over Beta, even though Beta was superior over VHS.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with this technology. It was
and also because they were using I think they were using VHS for porn or something, and that's
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The porn industry is actually very resistant to the whole VHS and
They're like
Beta,
cockroaches.
and yeah, they were very resistant at first. The porn industry, because everything was on film. But even the film industry was very resistant about television when it first came out. But we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah,
on
a
some of
little
the
bit
stuff that we're
sidetracked,
doing
yeah.
right now.
I was
I was going to say Stormy
watch their
Daniels.
home
Yeah.
immediate box. Yeah.
But okay, so when coming back to the Green Party is going, a lot of ways. Like you guys are getting in the debates now. At one time, you were excluded in debates, but you still have to fight for that. Like with some Green Party candidates, even in certain local television stations now, they're refusing the Green candidate to be participant
To
in
be
the
part of
debate.
the debate?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So
surprises
it's
me.
like
I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, there was only one debate in Thornhill. B'nai B'rith put it on, and so it was Peter Kent, the Conservative, Gary Gladstone, the Liberal, and me. And there wasn't an NDP. I think maybe there is a candidate for the riding now, but maybe
Yeah,
she
that's
wasn't in there.
Are they going to
yet.
have another debate?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's
good.
kind of it. It's a very Jewish area, so the B'nai B'rith puts on their little debates. And,
Because that is really the most lively part of the democracy is the debate. I mean, I know it happens in Parliament all the time, the so-called
Sure.
debate, but I really feel that, yes, that's really part of the civics.
Yeah.
The civic duty of people is to attend a debate and to see what people are talking,
Yeah, and I don't think decisions to be made on who has the quick pithy comeback or whatever. But these local debates aren't really like that. It's not like an American presidential debate. It's
Sure.
more like it's three people sitting there, and then we took questions from the audience, and you have like 3 minutes to answer. It's more of a conversation. It really warms my heart. Like the fact that people come out and to sit and
Oh, yeah.
watch, and
They're fun.
Yeah.
and the Conservative
That's right.
They're
Party
actually
sent
fun
all the people to
debates.
sign my signatures and everything, because you need 100 signatures to be able to run in the riding.
so.
Yeah.
So I got a fundamental question about politics and, of course, about ethics, because you guys, you want to be ethics and you want to care and so forth as far as the Green Party, and I believe those. I believe those values because I actually do vote for Green Party nearly every time.
Nice.
But the one of the values I wanted to ask about ethics is how do you? It's always about behavior for me. How do you? Because in the end, you have all these great economic systems. We say we can have a free market, but there's some people that manipulate the free market by abusing, by monopolizing, and you got all this treachery or just abuse of power, or lying, cheating, stealing. It's we come down to the behavior of individuals and the behavior of corporations. How does one write policies that controls that? How does
To control
Well, it's
behavior.
always a balance, right? Because
Yeah.
like we were just talking about,
without
China,
becoming like a becoming
you control everything.
yeah.
I mean, you kind of look at the countries in the world and say, where would you want to live? And you go, would you want to live in China? No. Do you
No.
want to live in North Korea? No.
No.
But everybody wants to come to Canada, or or maybe the U.S. or something. So, we're obviously not doing things badly, and it looks like we've got a pretty good balance of
Okay.
not just letting people pollute everywhere, but also not
True.
controlling all the businesses so much that there's no incentive to grow. And
Yeah, but okay. Well, I'm just going to repeat these statistics in Canada. This is been my biggest problem in Canada. Is just this disillusionment that everything's fine in Canada. And no, it's not really fine. The last time I saw the Canadian Payroll Association, even though it was only based on 6,400 people across Canada, Statistics Canada actually shows now that 62% of Canadians are working paycheck to paycheck. And to me, sir, that is not a sign of a good economy. And and I'm sure the Green Party of Canada realizes that that's not a sign of a good economy at all. And when you get
That's why people go to
62%
the
of Canadians,
States.
and so how does one? Why is this happening? Why are
well, what do you think the ideal is? I mean, the older I get, the more. I was even thinking about it this morning. We're all kind of on our own. We'll grow old, we'll die,
True.
Like we get sick. There's no magic. Like if there's anything we think is unfair, you're on your own. Like, there's police, but even to sue somebody, like, I've been having conversations, like, it could be expensive, it would take forever.
Well,
like,
you said that you're becoming more sympathetic to Trump. Are you becoming more sympathetic to the American model of free enterprise and, like, less government, like that cultural difference? It's not a matter of government differences. There's a cultural difference between the Americans that are more independent and sort of,
it's
entrepreneurial.
kind of hard to say. I mean, because when I see all my American friends on Facebook always posting about health insurance and how... I don't even quite understand how it works. You have to have a job, and they pay for your health insurance. Like, all of that kind of scares me. Like, I know here, I've never thought about it. I go to the doctor, it's covered, it's pretty good.
We're Canadians, and I love it. Like, I really thank God for the medical system here in Canada. Like, I appreciate it. But I really hate it when our provincial, our province is now dwindling some of that funding. And I asked one time, we have a federal health care act. Did you know that? I don't know if you knew that. We have a federal health care act that the province has to meet a certain standards of health care.
In order to get funding, though.
In order to get funding from the federal government, because it's sponsored in half and half, I guess. And I'm like...
It's called leverage.
It's called leverage. To me, is just throwing money at the system a better way of doing it? Or is it just like... I know the Green Party's into alternative medicines and adding other sources of...
Jeez.
Yeah, I saw that on your policy.
Read the manual.
What, like what?
You should have brought a manual with you.
No, it's all on that website. You could, I mean, they were. I mean, if you look at the healthcare section of the platform, it's about pharmacare, which a lot of people are talking about now, sort of paying for prescription drugs, or dental care.
But also, like, you were modeling after the one model of having like naturopathics working with doctors and simultaneously in certain clinics. Anyways, never mind.
Yeah, well, no, maybe I don't know a lot about that, and then I still believe you need to. Things have to be... I know there's always this debate versus, like, the medical system is just about treating illnesses, and if you could actually make people healthier and prevent the illnesses, that'd be better. But then a lot of these sort of medical professions, like, I don't know what naturopathy is, but chiropractic seems to be a bit sketchy, people say, or, does acupuncture...
I don't know. I like a chiropractor, man. I had one that really did me work better, really great.
Yeah.
I'm really curious, what's the Green Party's position on UFOs?
Because it's that time.
I don't think it's the platform, but I'm sure there's people that...
Because it's that time.
Isn't it on page 81?
That's right.
It's the hidden. It's 81 and a half. You have to, you have to look at it through a red filter
so
or something.
If you want to participate, it's at that time, for the UFO video on trial. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is now that time for the UFO video on trial. Of course, this is sponsored by YouTube. And this video is from... Look Now TV. Look Now TV. And it's at 1,770,000 views. And anyways, this is what it is. It's about. It's hard to find these videos now, because like when you go to YouTube, you search anything UFO, I get CNN, MSNBC, CNN, MSNBC, CNN. I get all this tabloid news. It's pissing me off. Anyways, okay, check this out. This is a pretty cool video. You can make comments as we go. Okay, guys.
The whole war with the Google and YouTube.
Hey guys, I'm Rick from Look Now TV. Take a look at this UFO video.
Take a look at.
Check it out.
It's not a UFO.
Oh my God, he scares me.
I think that's an airplane.
Yeah, that's an airplane.
You think?
But check it out. Look at that, right above the airplane.
Oh, whoa!
What the fuck was that?
Whoa! A piece of dust on the lens.
Oh no, dust doesn't do that.
That is complete proof of alien life.
That's right.
Well,
Take
it's
a
not
closer
complete.
look.
And that's
Oh,
complete
let's zoom in,
proof.
let's zoom in.
You see, it was an alien interruption. That face there was an alien.
That's Superman.
Maybe it's Superman.
Yeah, that could. Well, hold on. It looked like it was rotating.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe it's Neo from the Matrix. Just kind of.
It's Superman. It's a bird, and it's sponsored by Virgin Mobile or Virgin Airlines. Yeah, Virgin Airlines probably did this video.
I remember I took at Glendon. I took a psychology class called The Psychology of Anomalous Experience. That it's about why people believe in ghosts,
Thanks for
or
watching.
religion, or
See you next time.
UFOs, or psychics.
Attention
And there was an
viewers.
example that he talked
Look Now
about
TV uploads
where,
new videos
I don't
every
know. I don't know if it was a friend of his or some kind of story where somebody was like saying they were sitting in an airplane and they were looking out the window and they saw this silver ship flying by and they're like, oh my God, like it's so proof of UFOs. But then it occurred to him to refocus his eyes and he realized it was like a water droplet on the window.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't done that at that moment, for the rest of his life, he would have been like, I saw this ship, and there would be no way to explain it. So I guess the point of that was that, sometimes you can't really, just hearing a story, you can't quite explain what happened, but there might be a solution.
Oh
for
gosh,
someone.
yeah. I mean, there's
Well, there's always an answer.
there's always an answer, but there's some videos that are just like, how the fuck?
Yeah,
Because
there's some
you know,
videos
I'm a
that are
video,
insane.
I'm a professional editor, so
Right.
for me, I know how to recreate that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like the video that we saw with the said the whale on American. I knew exactly how he did that. Yeah, there was no digital effects. It was just photographs, and it was like pure animation, one photograph at a time,
Right.
upon another photograph of another photograph at a time, and it was so well designed, and I felt like, fuck, that's such a work of art, you know.
That was a
Right.
whale. What?
But some UFO videos are it would take a lot of keying, a lot of things to fake that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of editing to produce something
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
magnitude. And you've got a lot of those actually editors from film schools who are actually doing that too. So you got to watch which ones are fake and real. But there's some of them I've seen that I can't. I've seen something when I was a kid that I still can't
I've seen a couple of things.
you know. And I knew it was not a helicopter, and I knew that was not a plane, and I knew that was not a fly, and I knew that it was not, because I had to
Swamp gas.
reevaluate 3-4 times in my own head of how it changed direction from going this and then flying in the opposite direction, and I was like, I couldn't never
You ever seen a
understand that.
UFO?
No?
I don't think so.
I mean, when I say UFO, obviously,
Yeah.
I guess you mean UFO to be like a spaceship from another planet kind of thing, right?
Right. And what do you mean?
Okay. Well, unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
So you don't know what it is. Like I think like
There
some of
could
the
have been
film-
the squiggly thing in my
the
eye that
experiences-
just went off. You know,
the
I don't know.
experiences that I had, just a couple like brief experiences, and then also the most compelling evidence that I've seen suggests something that would you fall in the category of interdimensional as opposed to like a physical object flying through the atmosphere kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. But you know what? The greatest question, though, is what would the Green Party, Elizabeth May, say to an alien? Like, what about if aliens came right down in Parliament right now and said, we need to speak to Elizabeth?
She'd be like, "Is your UFO like? Is that a hybrid? Or are you burning oil here?
Yeah.
Like, what,
Yeah. What's your fuel?
have
That'd
you
be
come to pollute our Earth?
Yeah, she
or
gets
to rob it,
And,
to pillage it.
Or she would welcome them and say, "Listen, we're going to give you pharmacare. We're going to give you free tuition."
Yes, can you cure cancer for us for the love of God?
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this little stand-up joke I'm working on because I want to start doing stand-up every night.
Oh, do you?
I
Yeah.
haven't done
That's
it.
what politics is, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't done it in years, but I want to start. I want to start doing little political jokes. Like there was that one of these comedians that tweeted something about, "Oh, I don't know the Clintons. Please don't kill me." And then
That was
Trump-
Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn did the same bit with his puppets. Where
Oh, yeah?
one of his puppets goes, Hillary, and he gets like stabbed in the head with a dart. Yeah,
Ah.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so the, Trump retweeted one of these comedians going that, and I was like, I should start doing topical stuff. So I've got a thing about, Trudeau's Halloween costumes I want to record.
Oh yeah, we just had an episode of that just like last Thursday about Trudeau's blackface. I
yeah.
just noticed that when they do the pan, from his blackface to his crotch level,
Yeah.
he's trying to imitate black men, and then the other way too. I
Well,
swear to
that's
God.
what the articles are saying. Now he
I
stuffed
don't
his
know.
pants.
Yeah,
he
so
stuffed
you-
his pants. Like I
you
thought,
pointed it out,
all
and one
big
other guy I
comedy.
saw pointed out very subtly, right? No one
Uh-huh.
was obvious about it, and the mainstream networks just ignored it entirely, even though they did the full pan, and it's
That's
like,
right.
what is that, a fucking
Oh,
cucumber?
stop, yeah. That's
and the thing
funny.
is, he's at these. He's at a Halloween party or something.
Yeah, they're
Because
all-
it seems like everybody's dressed up and everybody's in. But
But
okay,
nobody cared then. He didn't know.
No one cares now.
No
Like,
one
really,
else
who
nobody
fucking cares?
Exactly.
Really,
But
who
it-
cares?
You see, it's a lot easier to debate that kind of thing or to talk about. It's more newsy than, ooh, what's your fiscal policy regarding taxes? On like nobody
I
wants to
know.
talk about that. But it's
Do you
like, oh,
think this-
Halloween costumes. We can all weigh in on that.
do you think this whole hype on identity politics is just a sidetrack to
It's
try
marketing.
to get away from the real topics
marketing,
of
baby.
politics and
It's
getting
just
real
marketing.
issues that Canadians are facing? Like I just mentioned,
Yeah.
that 62% of Canadians are working paycheck to paycheck.
Right. Okay,
You know-
we were talking about that. So
Ooh, that's a good
my
demo.
question was, and I can't remember
You
what
know.
stand-up joke I was going to talk about.
Oh, so
that I was
sorry.
working
You were
on.
talking about.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. I had something related to.
Trudeau and identity
It
politics.
was before. Yeah, I've got my
blackface,
Halloween costume routine.
That's
brown-
right.
brown
What were we
face.
talking about though?
You were talking about the Halloween costume and Trudeau's, blackface.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about something before that. But in terms of like, what's the ideal
Mm-hmm.
salary for people to have? Like, I don't know. I mean, again, do we owe everybody a salary, or is it just kind of, do your best and
Do your best, but the thing is, my point when I look at politics
That
is
should be
how I
the
look at it.
Canadian logo instead
And
of
I-
"Make America Great."
And I'd like
Again.
to, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. When I look at politics and I look at I look at government and I look at corporation, you can't trust your corporations because they're greedy son of the bitches, And then you can't trust your politics because they're in bed with the greedy son of the bitches, because some of them are just as greedy. So you've got this mixture of this BS. Most men and women here in Canada know that politics has become corrupt. How does the Green Party, like, I know you stand on ethics and all that
We're
stuff.
ethical and we're caring.
But how do you sway Canadians to vote? How do you sway Canadians to vote? Say, yeah, hey man, you know, we can change and we can have actually an ethical government in this
I mean, the problem is, first of all,
country, for the
we've
love of
got
God.
a lot of different parties, so you'd have to say you have enough people. Like, you know, we're splitting it 4, 5, 6 ways. And
Is that better? Would that be better to have more representation in the House?
I'll tell you, it makes it
Well,
harder.
that's what the Green Party's always advocating for, proportional representation, which sounds great, but again, everything has their limits, right? Like Israel has millions of parties, and so there's always these weird coalitions. Like it almost becomes dysfunctional. Versus where the U.S. has 2 parties, and maybe that's better because
Yeah, but it's one political party short of being communist, dude. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
yeah. So we've got 5 or whatever. Is that better? I don't know. Everybody's got a different way of doing it, but the more ways you split it, the more. Because you could argue, like,
I think we should just go back to having a monarchy.
Because I'm starting to realize too, there are extreme factions. So the more people you bring in, it's not just going to be, we're all more represented now. Like even within the Green Party, like sort of a controversial aspect of it is there's a large sort of anti-Israel component of that, and that's why it was so difficult for me to get the signatures in Thornhill because. You know, when people would say, what party are you with? You're anti-Israel. You're
Really? Parties associated with
really?
Well, like about a couple of years ago, there was when they had their AGM in Ottawa, they voted on 10 resolutions. That's what they voted for, and 2 of them were to boycott Israel and to boycott Jewish charities. And my family.
But because something was going on, though, right at the time.
Yeah, it's just general BDS, like the boycott, divest, sanction movement, which for anybody Jewish or Israeli knows that's. Pretty much, I mean, it's just the goal to destroy Israel. Yeah. It's not targeting any other country. It's just generally it's an attack. You know, we want you dead. We're going to starve you financially so you can't defend yourself, and you'll be dead. You'll be gone. So there's no debating. Like a lot of people in the Green Party are, oh well, why don't you argue about how it's more about the environment and if there's no environment? Like somebody emailed me today and it was like if there's no environment, there'll be no Israel at all. So let's address that first. Like no, but if you're saying we want you dead, we're not voting for you. But anyways, the point is that even within the party, the more people who get involved, there's extreme factions. So now you've got, I'm starting to appreciate sort of the mushy middle now. Like it's the fewer parties there are, it's like maybe the extremes get softened off, and it's like, I'm becoming more centrist. I think
I think you become only like people say to me, "Oh, you're a centrist." No, I says no. I'm only centrist in certain topics sometimes because I don't have enough information to really make a decision either way.
Right, and a lot of people just like to be, no, this is the absolute truth.
Yeah.
I've become. It's interesting because I listen every night to the Ben Shapiro show, which is this sort of Orthodox Jew.
Yeah,
I like Ben. I don't mind Ben.
And again, a couple of years ago, I would have been, like I could even watch Fox News now. I watch a lot of like Tucker Carlson and stuff on YouTube, which a few years ago I would have been nauseous to even look at it. But now I'm like, oh my god, they're kind of making sense. And I look at CNN now, I'm like, Jesus, this is very biased. Like everything is against Trump no matter what he does. So it's all anti-Israel no matter what they do. So I realize I can see the biases now, and so I try to take in both sides and evaluate positions on my own. Like I don't agree with Ben on abortion. I think we should have abortion rights, for example.
Yeah.
On the other hand, my position used to be, and he even talks about this, like you assume that everybody who's against abortion just wants to control women and control. Not necessarily. They might just think, it's a baby inside you and you shouldn't kill a baby, which is a valid position.
Yeah.
The other side is that women should have freedom to do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the side I fall on. But neither is perfect.
That's right.
So it's just.
You're exactly the same. I waver on the issue, and I become. And people, I just got attacked recently by some gay guy who thought that it was like, wait, it's a woman's right. I said, dude, I'm an adopted kid. So for me,
you were this close.
Like I have this weird opinion on it, and so I will never deny a woman not to have an abortion in Canada. I would never deny her to have safe access to having one, and for her to make that decision. I would never do that as a Canadian.
Yeah.
But do I not have the right to sense the opposite view too? To say, hey, what about keeping the child?
Well, you can accept it, but just not like it.
To adoption to somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's either extremes now. Like, and I find that politics have become.
It's because the news. That's why
Ben talks a lot about how the problem now is that if you assume ill intent from your opponent, then now you don't see them as human anymore. Their opinion is not valid at all. You can't have a discussion.
True.
They're the enemy.
And so I'm starting to look at all these issues like gun control. I'm like, okay, I could see limiting guns, but it's not necessarily that everybody who approves, like wants gun rights and the Second Amendment, that hates people and wants kids to be shot. They just see the solution as different. Like maybe, or they see, tyranny of the government not having, like they want guns. They also don't want kids to be shot. So if you can agree that we're all humans and we all care about people in general, you can maybe have a discussion. But if you decide anybody who supports guns wants kids dead, and the other side is like, you're just crazy people who want to come for my guns.
That's right.
Like it's not the point. Nobody wants kids shot. It's just there's bad sides to both. That's why anything political has two sides. Otherwise, it wouldn't be political. It would just be done.
It has multiple sides.
Would you,
many
or at
sides.
least two? But yeah, exactly.
Would you agree to this as a politician? Jordan Peterson recently, and we're mentioning all these names that everybody thinks that they're racist or
exactly.
it's
but
horrible,
but
they're not. They're not even at all like that. No. But anyways, Jordan Peterson said something that was quite clever recently, where he was talking about liberal or conservative position, and he said something very clever. He said, "No," he says, "the problem with politics today is that sometimes you need a liberal idea for policy to work." And then sometimes you need a conservative idea for it to work, or you need whatever a Green Party idea to work, or you need another idea to work. And then sometimes it's actually going with the best idea that's going to work, and then stop saying, well, the narcissism that goes behind actually who came up with the idea to begin with.
Yeah, and Elizabeth keeps saying that, we would love for people to adopt our ideas and and take credit for it and whatever. Maybe she means that, maybe she doesn't. I think that's the reason. I think that's the main reason, because I wrote a song. After I wrote the Elizabeth May song, I wrote a double Dayton Layton song. This is when Jack Layton was still alive, obviously. Yeah. And I was like, hey, I was saying we should merge with the NDP. And I wrote a blog post about that like 15 years ago.
The Green Party would merge with the NDP?
That was my idea. I was like, why are we splitting the vote again? Why don't we just become...
Green and orange?
Yeah. And now I don't really agree with the NDP as much. I think maybe we'd have more in common with the Liberals.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, even when you see how the Tea Party influenced the Republican Party from within, if we became like a really green faction of the Liberal Party and could affect who the leaders are and what the policies are, it made me think, well, maybe that'd be more effective than being this outlier party that's so hard to win. On the other hand, then people like me wouldn't necessarily be able to run. So everybody who runs for the Green Party, I think, probably, at least in a bit, is doing it because, wow, I get my name on a poster and I get to run and my name's on the ballot. But if you take that away, now you're like, oh, I just have to support people internally. So that's another reason they wouldn't necessarily want to merge. Everybody wants their chance to
That's
shine.
right.
Yeah, I once did a all candidates debate here in Parkdale, and it was when I talked to the Green guy. You probably know him. He's a teacher at Fern Avenue.
Tim Grant,
yeah, really nice guy.
Yeah.
So he was. The thing is, what I always remember about the Green candidates is they had the best ideas on the environment.
Yes, that was true.
And so they brought that out in the debate, right, for people to consider, even though they weren't going to win. True. They would always bring those ideas, and over the course of many debates and several elections, then it becomes more part of the, it does, just by presenting the ideas, by being a counterfoil or whatever, right, you can introduce those ideas to the greater society, and, over time, So
I think that works as well, and maybe that's the Green Party's role. I mean, we still have members of Parliament, and there's Elizabeth now, and I think there's a couple others, and Mike Schreiner finally got elected in Ontario.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just being in the debates and bringing those ideas forward, maybe it pulls the parties a bit to the left, a bit towards the environment, the same way that like Bernie Sanders 5 years ago or 4 years ago was crazy Bernie, but now everybody's kind of going that way.
So you must be big on transit, like public transit.
Oh, I love public transit.
Yeah, that's right.
I've never owned a car. I love being able to take it.
That's right.
So you must be very familiar with the TTC, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, maybe it's time.
Yeah, I love the TTC.
I don't mind the TTC.
I don't mind the TTC.
Somebody posted today saying, "Oh, I moved back to Toronto, and now I got to deal with the TTC." I'm like,
it's not that bad.
I've never had a problem with it. I guess
you can get from like every part of the city by TTC somehow.
Yeah, like every American I talk to, they're like, "Oh, how do you can't walk around LA? And like, how do you not have a car in Toronto?" And I'm like, I just get on the transit. I get on the streetcar. I get on the bus. I get on the subway. I was here in 2 minutes, from my friend's house.
So you've seen that Twitter campaign that they have on the subway?
Yeah,
right?
so that's where we're gonna go to.
Are those real Twitter tweets?
Yes.
Well, okay, so that's the thing, right?
So that's the thing too. So
we've had this bit going for about 20 weeks now.
I think there's a copywriter like me, right?
That's right.
Sure.
So it's that time, ladies and gentlemen.
So. You'll enjoy this. You can read a couple yourself.
All right, yeah. So I always think, I should look up the address of that.
That's
Twitter
right.
to see if it's real.
Anyways, this is time for the forbidden tweets.
Yeah,
of course.
you've seen them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody's aware of these TTC ads that you see here in Toronto. of course, on the TTC, and they're just very generic, and they're like, really? People
Probably
don't talk
bullshit,
this way.
right?
This
Yeah,
is
it's
complete
somebody
bullshit.
really
Yeah.
right.
So, anyways, we found the forbidden tweet. The forbidden
You found real
tweet.
ones?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, from
Yeah,
our
these-
friend-
but they didn't make
from
it
our
'cause
friend-
they're forbidden.
from our
Too
Right, they didn't make it to
controversial.
the posters.
That's
yeah.
right. So this is from our friend Jack from marketing.
Yeah.
Anyways, this one's from William Tennyson at A Lit Tense.
A little tense.
A little tense.
Holy fuck, this screeching subway's worse than my ex-wife. Put some grease on that bitch. I'd like to keep my hearing, please.
It's so
Hashtag
true.
TTC.
You said it. Please understand the due to cutbacks. We had to nix the axle grease. I bring in I'm always like, like
He's hired.
I'm always like, I can't.
Stand it.
I'm gonna get hearing damage from these things. So this is a real tweet you found?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Oh
a
my
real
God,
tweet.
just
Yeah,
uncovered these.
William
Jimmy Kimmel here.
Tennyson. Yeah, this is awesome. Next one's from Samantha Colbury at No Circulation.
OMG, it's freezing in here. Hey, driver, I know these buses are obsolete, but can you throw another log on the fire? Hashtag TTC.
Oh, and her name is at No Circulation.
That's
really?
right. Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Wait
Must
a
be
minute. Oh, you
must
made
be-
these up. You
must
made
be
these
chronic.
Up. Okay. You said it. Please know that we retired our coal-powered bus a few years ago and are relying on human flatulence to heat our new fleet. Oh, this is fun. Okay,
Oh, you gotta
made-
read
fun.
it slower.
I
read
get
it
it
slower.
now. You-
That's
made-
Jack
we
in
need it
marketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You said it. Please know that we retired our we retired our coal-powered buses years ago and are relying on human flatulence to heat our new fleet. Oh, I didn't even. See, that didn't even sink
See,
in.
Jack
See,
in
you gotta-
marketing,
you gotta
man.
do it soulfully.
Jack in marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
soulfully.
Human
Jack in
flatulence.
marketing.
That
Nice.
means farts for those.
Yeah.
of
All
you
right,
who
this
are-
is going good.
Yeah,
let's
that's right.
try another one.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize this was a whole comedy bit. This is like, okay, this is like.
This is
Colbert.
at Daniel Possum at my inner fire.
These Presto cards are fucking horse shit. It charged me twice, didn't even recognize the 2-hour transfer rule. Fucking pinheads better give me my money back. Hashtag TTC.
It's so true. You said it. Please know that we've had many complaints about this service and are doing our best to ignore them. It's so true. I'm always afraid, am I going to get, dinged again? Like, I hate my Presto
I hate
cards.
that.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh, we got Ashley Eaton Cox. Really? That's her name?
This is Ashley Eaton Cox at Sick Again.
True name.
Because she's eating Cox?
Fucking hate
Yeah.
it when people with colds take transit and spread their stupid derms. So inconsiderate. Hashtag TTC.
You said it. Please stay home when you're sick. If you're taking transit, you can't be that important. That's very sad.
Wow.
Very sad.
Zing.
But I did a
Jack
campaign like that years ago. I was running ads for Tylenol Cold. You're not legally allowed to say like it's going to prevent a cold or anything.
Yeah.
So I had things just, it was on the subway. It was saying, the person, that newspaper beside you was just used as a Kleenex or something.
Oh,
And then, it was blocking his sneeze. And it said, you're going to get sick, deal with it, Tylenol Cold kind of thing.
Tylenol Cold.
Or the person, holding that pole before you just coughed on their hand. That
Oh, yeah, because you don't even know what goes on.
Gross.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw something on Facebook this week where somebody was like, it was a picture of like Keanu Reeves, I think, and it was like on the subway going, Keanu Reeves is superstar, but he rides the subway to work every day like a real person. And I was like, where is Keanu Reeves going
riding
to
the
work?
subway.
Where's his work?
Where's
Maybe his
his
latest
work?
movie is...
Really?
Is he an accountant? Like, what is he
Is
doing?
he just like researching some character, some shit like
Well,
that?
he did play that
Yeah,
bus driver in Speed, right?
That's
Maybe he's
right.
his next role is
It
he's
was
a subway
Speed-
driver or
Speed
something.
7. Speed
Yeah,
7,
I don't know
yeah.
if Keanu Reeves is riding the subway to work like a real boy.
Something tells me no.
All right, this next one, gentlemen, is Lefty McLennan at It's All Good.
If greedy conservatives won't fund the TTC, they shouldn't be allowed to use it. Let them take their limos when they go shopping for ivory back scratchers.
You said it. Please join us in ostracizing all people who don't share our political views. It's so true. It's cancel culture.
That's right. And this next one's from Carmen Zanderpuss at Pussing Ahead.
Holy shit, this train is fucking packed. Hope we're heading downtown and not to a friggin' concentration camp. Hashtag TTC.
Can't wait to hear what the legal disclaimer is. You said it. Please know that the TTC strongly disavows concentration camps, although there is Union Station. See, man. This is
yeah.
going to be played in a debate
Yeah,
down there.
Jack.
They're going to be like, you're making jokes
Yeah.
about the Holocaust.
Yeah, Jack.
Oh, not really.
Not really?
Yeah, Jack. Yeah, Jack.
You
What's
haven't heard
going
about
on?
the concentration camps on the southern border of the United States?
For the Estonians?
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, I know AOC thinks they're concentration camps.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole other I don't think she's actually been in a concentration
That's why it's a forbidden tweet, man.
Yeah.
She just-
That's why they're
she's not-
forbidden. We're not
yeah,
actually supposed to be
Carmen,
reading
she's
these, but we thought
horrible.
we'd
these are
open our...
forbidden. Yeah, these didn't make the cut.
Yeah, that's right. This is Joe Dunn. Don't know why.
Never thought I'd become one of these pathetic blobs of plasma on the subway platform. Hairless sheep being led to the slaughter. Jeez. Should I jump?
Oh, no. That's horrible.
Hashtag TTC.
Jesus. You said it. What's the point in even living if you just end up on some executive's dinner plate?
It's a peu macabre. They don't just take a little.
I didn't write them.
That's what I know.
It's
This
true,
is
though. Whenever
Joe
I'm on
Dunn, man. You need some like antidepressants or something.
Yeah,
Poor
whenever
guy.
I'm on the subway, I feel like, oh my god, I'm just part of humanity. We're all just not looking at each other.
I was
know.
there this morning.
Or everybody's on their cell phones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird now. Like, I wonder, what did we do before these? Like, everybody literally just staring at them. Did we used to stare? I mean, I don't remember ever talking to anybody on the subway.
Oh yeah. If
Well,
you're in
I've met people on the
Montreal,
subway.
though, if you're in
I've met people
Montreal,
on
you
the
talk to
subway.
people on the subway all the time.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
Because somebody posted on Facebook this week. I think I was asking. It was in some relationships group or something. Like, oh, I've got my. I'm like, how did you meet your husband? And then or your wife or something. He's like, on the subway. And I'm like, how did you meet someone? Oh, you just start talking on the subway.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know. You just start talking on the subway.
Well,
Yeah?
we met that girl on the streetcar. That was
Oh,
a nice
yeah.
conversation. We talked the whole way.
Oh yeah, we talked the old way.
Sometimes it happens.
yeah.
I've tried in the
I
past.
think those what those streetcars are forcing. They're forcing conversation. People
Oh,
have to
yeah.
face each other. Come on, Toronto,
That's
smile.
why I
I'm always
know.
wondering-
Next step is name tags.
We had it for
I want to start a conversation with someone, but then I'm afraid if they're not into it, now we're standing awkwardly beside each other. Like, I was coming back from the exhibition a few weeks ago, and some girl was standing with another girl, and she said something about, oh, there were so many contractions. And for some reason in my head, it's like midnight, I'm thinking, oh, contractions. She must be a grammar teacher. And so she sat beside me, and I just turned to her.
Contractions.
I'm assuming she's pregnant.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's exactly it. So I was like, maybe I'll talk to her. Like, I'm just going to talk to strangers now and make friends. So I said, hey, I think that's great that you teach grammar. Like, a lot of people don't know grammar these days. And she just looks at me and looks away. And then I'm like, oh, maybe she meant childbirth. So I started writing a note saying, I'm sorry, I just assumed grammar because you said contractions. And I restrained myself from giving that to her because now I was going to be the crazy guy that's now passing the notes. But
Hey,
it was
maybe
not
it's what she named her son.
Contractions?
Contractions.
Yeah,
Contractions.
she's got two sons
She's
named-
Greek.
It's contractions.
Sounds like a nice Greek
Yes,
name.
absolutely.
Contractions.
So kudos to her for not immediately just getting up and walking away. She sort of toughed it out, and I was just sitting there like, oh no. So yeah.
I thought you were going to end that story with, and next thing you know, I had a high heel in my ass.
So people, I know. So this is what I recommend. This is what I'm trying to recommend people is actually to think about voting for the because it's actually 9 o'clock, gentlemen, and it's time up pretty soon. So I did
Never
want to
even
show
told
a
you
little
why I was
bit.
late,
This
why
is
my
this is
license was crappy.
this is Josh. How do you? What's the phonetics of your last name? Rachlis.
Rachlis. Okay, see,
Rachlis.
that's the problem. I feel like I need to change my name. I've been going by Celebrity Josh, CelebrityJosh.com
No,
lately.
just-
But
yeah,
I figured
Josh
on
is
the
fine.
ballot that would look ridiculous.
No, Josh. I like no. Your last name's it's Hanson. Last name. What are you talking about? No, there's your information. Actually, you can reach you at 416-992-6666.
Oh, great. My phone number's now on the internet.
Yeah,
Well, that's-
Josh.Rachlis@greenparty.ca.
Yeah, so
You can
contact
check
me
it
or
out.
add Josh Rachlis on Facebook
right.
until I come up with a better stage name.
By
for
the way, in
myself.
your writing, if you want them to print the ballots with your photo on them, I know a guy.
You know,
Oh, that'd
yeah,
be great, because I was
there we
thinking
go.
this is my chance to hand out ballots and meet all the people and have them all like me and maybe to be a nice Jewish girl that says, I want to marry you and have kids and do the whole thing.
Awesome.
I don't know.
So check out some more of the platforms for the Green Party of Canada, also here at greenparty.ca. So this is
Yeah,
great.
check it out. Vote for me, or at least, tell the Liberal Party let me run for them next time.
That's right. That's
If they do vote for you, do you promise to read the Green Party platform?
No, see, on the way to the debate, I was reading. I was like, there's too much to take in right now.
There's quite
And
a bit.
The debate was only about Israel, basically, anyway,
True.
so it was all fine.
But there was quite a bit. I like the Green Party stance on a lot of the issues, and I think it's very progressive.
Yeah.
And I love progressive thoughts. I always appreciate it. So, but thank you so much for joining us, Josh, tonight on representing the Green Party of Canada. Great successes on the next election coming
Thank
up. And do you have anything lasting to say before we go off the air? Vote green, vote green, vote green, vote green.
Or at least vote. I think that's always most important. It makes me sad
Yeah.
when people don't vote.
Yeah.
Just get out there and participate, and then
Touche.
people will have to listen. Because the more, the fewer people vote, the people bad. Doesn't really matter what people think. We're going to do what we want. But if you're out there, it's your responsibility. It's like people around the world are dying, literally dying, being killed for wanting to vote. So get out there. You meet nice people in line. It's
That's
all
right.
good. And if you want to have a discussion with me, Facebook, at Josh Rachlis on YouTube. I'm going to start a daily show where I interview people and talk about things. So it's all about a discussion and learning together and growing together.
Great.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you. All right. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say good night. Until next time on Thursday night, join us at 8 p.m. And also Joe Cool, the Leopard Lounge on Tuesday night. Yes. And until next time.